Hey, you guys. I'm James Burton, and thank you. And you know my brother here, Jason. Okay. So I'm very excited to be here and be happy to answer any question within reason. And anyway, I twisted my wrist a couple of days ago, and it's I can feel a little tension, a little tightness in there. But anyway, I won't have to worry about doing a lot of playing. Amanda's here, so we're okay. I love this. I turned on. I was on the internet the other day, and I punched her up on there playing a little jazz. I knew she could play, but she didn't tell me she was into all this jazz. I play a lot of jive. I don't play really what you call jazz. I play a lot of jive. But anyway, I played on a lot of jazz records. You didn't know it was me. And I met a lot of wonderful, great jazz guitar players, Joe Pass and Barney Castle, Howard Roberts, and Herb Ellis, and God, the list goes on and on. Larry Carlton plays a little jazz too. And who's a little curly-haired guy that we played together in studios a lot. I know you know, a little short guy. Maybe I'll think of his name after a while. But we worked together in studios a lot.
And you just said you did, like, what are some of the jazz recordings you did? Somebody told me you did some of the...
Oh, I did an album with Shorty Rogers. That's when I met Larry Mahobarak, as a matter of fact. I was doing a jazz album. And Larry Mahobarak, a great piano player from Dallas. Man, this guy, and we teared it up on some jazz tune, and he jumped into a solo and just blew me away. And I said, wow, this guy, who's this guy? He's new in town. So anyway, and Elvis had called me to put a band together. And the piano player that ended up playing with us, Glenn Harden, he was not available. And so on a coffee break, I was talking to Larry, and I said, Larry, Elvis called me to put a band together for Las Vegas, and I didn't know if you would be interested in maybe playing some piano on that gig. He said, sure, man, I'd like to do that. Anyway, he was the first guy to play piano with us in Las Vegas in 1969 when we opened the month of August. And I didn't expect to be there much longer. Well, the month, I figured if I make it through the month, I'll be okay. But I ended up being there for 9 years, from 69 until he passed away in 1977. I got to tell you, he was one of the greatest guys. He's one of us, you know. I mean, the guy was just fantastic, and forget his talent. I mean, he was just a killer singer and great talent. That guy had so much charisma, man. He could walk in a room. I've seen him walk in a room of 5,000 people partying down, and he'd walk in the room, and all of a sudden, you could hear a pin drop, man. Everybody just froze. And not just the ladies, but the guys, man. They were in awe with this guy. I mean, it was just amazing. Anyway, that's another thing. I'm sure you probably have a few questions about some of those shows we played. But I'm honored to be here. Thank you, guys, and thank you, Amanda. And she's a pretty good driver too, not bad.
You're probably the first person that's ever said that. So thank you.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, from the airport to the hotel, that's pretty good. But anyway, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming.
So,
Thanks for coming.
and yeah, Jason, you want to say a few words?
It's not over.
Yeah, today in class we've been going. We started like from the beginning and learning a lot of rockabilly and a lot of country, and it's there's players that kind of come and go and over the decades, and like this guy, he really shaped this sound. But it's kind of funny, like all the through all the time and all the recordings that we look at and over the decades, like you're always like you're always there. You're always somebody who's like an important player, not just at one period in music, but all the time. Like you're always contributing huge. And so every we were talking about Mystery Train and playing Mystery Train and some of the Merle Haggard stuff, and got into a little bit, but I think we're all kind of excited to get it from the source today.
Well, I hope I can. I'm a little stiff in the wrist, but yeah, I love all kinds of music, and well, I got to tell you, God has truly blessed me in my music career, and all the support from my family and everyone in the music world. And I've had the honor of meeting so many great entertainers and performing with them and playing on records and everything, even live shows and whatever. And it's really interesting. I get a lot of, when I do interviews, I get a lot of questions from people who want to know, well, what was it like playing with this guy? What was it like playing with that guy, Well, to me, I don't look at it that way. Music is what I look at. I look at the music because every entertainer is different. There's no two people alike. I mean, they all have different, they just have different feels for music, and you can play the same song with three artists and it'll be different. You get three different versions, and that's just the way it is. But working with people like Elvis and playing in the studio with Nat King Cole and Ray Charles and all those monster, I call them monster people. They're very huge in their business, But it's great that just a little country boy like me coming in to, hey, play guitar, wow. But it's great, and being able to work with probably the greatest of all, Tommy Tedesco. And he was my hero in the studio. The guy could read anything, anything you could throw at him. And he always had first call for movies. All the movie scores, Tommy had first call. So they would not book a studio, and they would not put the music together until they called Tommy and said, Tommy, what's your availability? When are you available? And, here it is. So they worked it out with Tommy, and the guy's just fantastic. What can I say? As a matter of fact, he called me and wanted me to do him a favor. I said, sure, Tommy. And he said, I'm doing this movie thing at MGM, and I want to play rhythm guitar. I want you to come and play all the lead. I don't want to play lead. I just want you to do all the lead. So I said, sure, okay. Anyway, we got the studio, and it was Elvis Presley, Viva Las Vegas. So Aunt Margaret is up there dancing on the screen, and so we're playing Viva Las Vegas, and she's dancing up a storm. And the producer came over and said, hey, don't look at this paper stuff. Watch the screen, and when she gets real sexy, just get wild. Play some wild stuff. But anyway, that was that's what happened with that deal. But and another great thing that followed that, many years later, Aunt Margaret had a call for them. They were doing the Flintstone movie. Anybody see Flintstone 2? It was the movie score for that. Anyway, it was Viva Rock Vegas, not Viva Las Vegas, Rock Vegas, and like the Flintstones, So anyway, they called Aunt.